Hey, Juan here. Today, let's talk about the most important metric that you have to pay attention to when you are launching or when you're running a product. So there are many different frameworks that suggest different metrics to follow up because they are very important to ensure the success of your product. They're very valid. There are things like the AARRR metrics. There's things like the customer journey, which is not necessarily proposing metrics, but it's actually doing something very similar as what the AARRR metrics are proposing. So quickly with the AARRR metrics, what they are trying to suggest is that, hey, you first have to get the attention of your customers. You do this through activation. Basically, what you want to do is that you want to promote your product and make sure that people are aware that your product exists. Next is going to be activation. Here, what you want to do is that you want to convert a potential consumer from being aware of your product to actually go and purchase your product. Then you have retention. What you want to do with retention is that you want to make sure that your customers stay with you over time. Then you have referral, which means that your customers are going to refer your product to other people. So like I'm going to go to somebody that I know when they ask me, where should I manage my work? Where should I take notes? What should be the tool set that I use? I'm going to go and say Notion because it's great. And then there's going to be revenue because, of course, you are doing typically this for profit. You're a business and you want to make some revenue. We want to make some money. And it's not just because you want to make money. It's because you have to run a business. You have to make sure that you are offering the best services to your people, to your customers, to your own team, of course. And this is made by money because this is how society works nowadays. So money is the gasoline or the electricity that takes our car to its destination. And of course, if you think about the customer journey, you have very similar stages in the customer journey than you have in the AARRR metrics. Having said that, which one are the most important metrics that you had to pay attention in your products? So you could say that the first one is that people had to find you and that people had to purchase your product, which is important, of course, because if people don't find your product, well, you're probably not going to make much money and nobody's going to find the value of it. So really, really important that people are aware of your product. The activation part, getting somebody to actually purchase your product, of course, it is difficult, but it probably can be done maybe in an easier way than actually people getting to find your product. Then comes retention. Retention is that people are happy using their product. For me, the most important one is retention. And yes, you can argue that, okay, if nobody finds out about your product, well, nobody's going to purchase it. Nobody will even, you don't have to care about retention. That is true. And in the beginning, especially in the beginning of the lifetime of a product, you actually have to pay attention to activate those customers or acquire those customers. But then think about yourself. Think about any product that you have used yourself and don't think about the ones that you are managing. Just ignore that. Ignore the ones that you're building because, of course, every product that we build or manage is the best product ever and the product that everybody has to use. But if you think about you as a user, if I go and purchase a product, for whichever reason I'm not happy with it, there's going to be many people that are just going to ignore it and they're not going to come back to it, probably ever. Not everybody, obviously, but it will happen. And sometimes you will find some value in a product and you will use it for some time. Let's say that happens often with like subscription services like Netflix or online or games that people play, different service-based products that people actually use for a while. They watch a couple of seasons of different TV shows and then they move on next subscription. Or they come back maybe in 1 year or half a year and then resubscribe. But if, for example, the experience is horrible, the services or the series that you had there are not interesting, they're probably not going to come back and maybe you have lost them forever. And if you think about other products, it's the same experience. If you try a product, you give it a try, you use the trial, download it, and you start using it and it's frustrating and you don't know how to get value out of it. Then you go compared to a competitor, find out that the competitor actually suits you better, go for the competitor, forget about the first one forever. So retention, which means that people stay using your product, is probably the most important metric that you can have. Because that means that people are either happy or satisfied or finding value in the product that you're building. And this is extremely important because that means that those people are going to probably stay using your product over the longer term. And yes, in some cases, as I say, subscription-based ones like Netflix, that might be different because the offering is kind of changing and it comes in seasons, and people might be in for a season and then get out of a different season and then come back later on and so on. But if you think about other products that you use in your regular life, you probably are using something relatively often, like you're using your mobile all the time and you're probably using some apps within your mobile all the time. They might be free, but that's retention. You're keeping people happy. You're keeping people using your product. And yes, other ones like referral, you could see that is very important, of course, and this is something that companies use for EMPS. And it's really important to see that people are willing to recommend your product to others, that they are very, very satisfied. But that's on top of the other one. Not everybody, as much as they love a product, not everybody goes and starts recommending a product to everybody out there. That just doesn't happen normally, and that's not a very common situation. It happens in certain products, more like viral products, but it cannot happen with every single product, and probably not every single product category. It's not that likely. And we are not all the type of people that just like to go and tell to everybody what they should be doing. For that, you have people that have YouTube channels. So that's my opinion. Obviously, you might have a different one. Why don't you share it with us? Go, comment below, and let us know which one is the most important metric that you think that you should be paying attention to make sure that your customers are happy with your product. If you found value in this video, you should go and check this one out where I talk about the AARRR metrics by Dave McClure. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. And remember, stay safe.